Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, FPL Consult here, and today we're going to do my Game Week 4 team selection video, right? So as per usual, we're going to go through how I did for Game Week 3, right? Talk a little bit about my transfer plans, and then take a look at my Game Week 4 team, followed by the Captaincy Rubrics, and then decide who we want to captain, right? So if you guys do enjoy this video, please help me out and give it a like, and also subscribe as well if you are new around here. Right, so let's get straight into it, and Game Week 3 was pretty much a disaster for a lot of people, right? The Game Week average was a lot lower than Game Week 1 and 2, so in general, it was a pretty low scoring Game Week for many, right? Now, if you're one of those like me who didn't do very well, then I'm here to provide some positivity to everyone and tell you guys that it's completely alright. During the course of the season, there's going to be plenty of game weeks like this, and you know, there is a long way more to go, right? And as I've said about our rank, right, it is very erratic at this point of the season because it's just the start, right? I'm currently on 2.9 million, right, essentially 3 millionth in the world, but I'm not worried at all, and that's because if I put it into perspective, I calculated that if I had played Andreas instead of Neto, I'd actually jump 1 million places, right? So it's really tight between the ranks, and you know, all is not lost. So looking at my score, it's pretty terrible, right? 37 points is just not it, and realistically, I have to admit that it was the wrong call to go Saka over Martinelli for extra 2 million, and also Robbo over Diaz hasn't been doing that well. So these 50-50 calls that were tough at the start of the season, I have to admit that in hindsight, I did make the wrong call. But looking at my team, right, even this week's score, I think technically speaking, no one actually returned because Jesus and Haaland, though they returned, they're on such high ownerships right now, their returns don't really matter much. So funnily enough, Salah captain was actually what saved me this week, right, where in other weeks, it actually doesn't really affect your rank much, right, but Salah really helped, right? So honestly, nothing much to shout about from most of my players, and you know, pretty shocking results all round for Game Week 3, but it's alright, right? We'll take this in our stride and then we move for Game Week 4. So on to my Game Week 4 transfer moves, and as you guys could see from the video title, massive overhaul this week, right? 3 moves made, and these moves have already been confirmed, right? Locked in, and it's made with a couple of things in mind. So firstly, I know it's a little bit criminal to take Robertson out when he has Bournemouth at home in Game Week 4, and also, you know, taking Reed out when I just brought him in last game week. But there's a couple of reasons for each of these moves, and it all surrounds getting Gundogan in my team, right? Because if you guys saw my transfer plans video, I could have just done Neco Williams up to Perisic, but I decided to do Robertson to Perisic and then Saka to Martinelli so that I could afford Gundogan. And I've seen enough from him to be convinced that there are returns for him in the coming game weeks, right? Plus, another major reason for bringing him in is because of Pep's latest quote on Haaland, right? He did say that Haaland is going to be rotated, and the exact quote goes, "I tell you now that when we have games every 3 days, Erling Haaland is not going to play every game. Julian Alvarez is going to play," right? And I want to be able to have the choice in Game Week 5 thereafter to, if I need to, right, swap him out for Kane. But yet at the same time, in Game Week 5, they have Nottingham Forest at home, so I don't want to miss out on a City attacker as well, and that's why having Gundogan, right, is really important, and that's where he comes in as well. He's essentially been playing as a second striker behind Haaland, right, based on the positions that he's actually been taking up in games, right? So it's really likely that he's probably going to get some returns. And looking at the other new additions as well, right, Perisic is someone I've been eyeing up, and you know, given now that Conte has pretty much given us the assurance that he's ahead of Sessegnon in the pecking order, I'm confident that hopping on him now can start to pay off, right? And then of course the 50-50 that I got wrong from the start of the season, going Saka over Martinelli, it's time to reverse it, and I've done it this game week, right? And of course, I've done it not because I just want to reverse it for the sake of reversing, but it's because at his price point, he is still the best value midfielder at that point in time, right? 6.4 is really good. And you know, those of you who don't have Martinelli, I really recommend that. But of course, right, if we think about it, just how FPL goes, right, now that I've taken Saka out, obviously Saka is going to haul, right? I mean, obviously, I don't hope that happens, but usually FPL just happens like that, right? So with these moves made, I've taken a -4. In the bank, I now have 0.7 mil, right? So which is really nice, right? I can use this extra money to then upgrade some more players if I need to next week. So guys, before we get on with the video, I just want to give a massive shout out to Sorare who's sponsoring today's video. Sorare is one of the fastest growing fantasy football platforms in the world. It basically combines fantasy football with trading cards, so you can think of it as a mix of FPL, FIFA and Football Manager. Every week you get to build up the best team, set your captain, and when that team performs well in real life, you win prizes like real money or valuable trading cards which you can keep to build a stronger team or trade on the marketplace. They're basically non-fungible tokens and you can sell them on the market to turn a profit. I've started playing for a while now and I've got to say guys, it's really cool and exciting to play this alongside FPL, especially since it is so similar. So if this sounds like something you'd be interested in and if you want to support the channel, click the first link in the description to sign up for an account and get a free valuable card worth about up to 50 euros after 5 card purchases. If you guys do sign up, let me know down in the comments below what you think of the game. I really enjoy it and I hope you guys do too. So with all the changes made, here is my new team for Game Week 4, looking really fresh and some awesome fixtures all round. Right, so we've got Raya in goal who plays a struggling Everton at home, and then the backline is filled with defenders with good attacking potential and also good clean sheet odds as well. These 4 teams actually top the clean sheet odds for Game Week 4, so definitely not hoping for a repeat of Game Week 3 where all the top teams had their clean sheets wiped out. Right, so if they can keep a clean sheet and then they do get attacking returns, very likely 3 bonus points along as well. Right, so really liking this back line. Right, and in midfield we have Salah, Martinelli, Neto and Gundogan. Possibly only Neto with a tough game against Newcastle, but if he gets into the right spaces, hopefully he can pull off a return or two. And then up front, there's Haaland and Jesus. It could be the last game week for Haaland in my team, let's see. Right, but for now, he is in my team and he plays Palace. And then Jesus has Fulham at home. So on the bench, we have kind of the standard bench template, right? Ward, Andreas, Neco Williams, and Archer. Right, and I'll just put Andreas as the first sub to come on for my team if need be. Right, because Neco Williams plays Spurs, so probably no clean sheets there for him. On to captaincy, and the rubrics for this week is on the screen right now. We have 6 players who make the rubrics this week, and in order of their score, it's Haaland, KDB, then Salah, Jesus, Kane, and Son. Right now, I went against the rubric last week, right, and picked Salah as my captain. But for the longer part of the Liverpool game, right, actually Salah was largely ineffective, so it was really looking like the rubric was going to come true, and you know the rubric actually chose Haaland, right? So it was almost going to make me regret not following it, but thankfully Salah returned. Right, so still you know, with looking at it from a score perspective, Haaland and Salah weren't too far off at all. Right, so still a success rate of 3 out of 3 for the rubric. So this week, once again, the metric has chosen Haaland. Now, I'm really not fond of it. Right, I'm likely going to go with Salah for the time being, but it could change. So tune in for the deadline stream to find out my final captaincy pick. But for now, it's looking like I'm going to captain Salah and vice captain Haaland. Right, going against the rubric again this week. Hopefully it goes alright. Slapping the captain's armband and the vice captain's armband on Salah and Haaland respectively. This is how the final team looks like. Right, really liking the look of it, and hopefully game week 4 isn't going to be a repeat of unexpected results just like game week 3. Right, but aside from that, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please help me out and leave this video a like, and also subscribe if you're new around here. Right, massively helps the channel. But for now, that's it, and I will see you guys in another one very soon. Bye bye.